What's up, family? It's the Chief Geek. And on the code for this week, we got a chance to tap in with my man, Kwame Kilpatrick, all right? He's got a new ministries called Movemental Ministries. Check him out, movementalministries.org. Man, we spent some time catching up. It's been a while since me and him got a chance to just tap in one-on-one. We talked about all sorts of stuff. Can't give it away. You got to go check it out on the inside of this episode, all right? It's all about the journey back to destiny. You should be on your journey back to destiny. Tell me, what's stopping you if not? All right? You got some things you need to clean up, right? We all do. Let's get to it. Let's do this, man. Let's get in there, Twan. For years, I've been known as a guy that's dedicated his whole life to technology and music. I've done it for corporate for 15 years, and now I get a chance to do it here with you at MBassador Studios. Hi, I'm Tarmel Daniel, and every week, I want to introduce you to some of the most brilliant people on this planet as we discuss their brands, events, and their approach to their craft. We'll talk about their failures as well as their success. We will discuss blueprints, plans, ideas, and possible partnerships we'll form. Never know who might walk through the doors. This is The Code, where we vibrate at a creator's frequency. Family, what's up, man? It's your boy T, Chief Geek. We doing The Code today, man. We vibrating at a creator's frequency. And it's me, man, father of four, master of none. And today, I got my main man, the myth, the brethren, Kwame. Now, are you going by pastor these days?
Well, you know, what you feel comfortable calling me is fine.
Okay.
I'm Kwame in here, but
Okay.
Pastor Kwame, I'm not, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. Okay. But me and you, we just Kwame. we just talking today, right?
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, we're just kicking it today, man. Yeah. So, first of all, thanks for pulling up, especially Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Peace and love. We love you guys.
Happy Mother's Day.
Absolutely. I want to go back. A lot of people don't know that you were actually my junior high teacher.
Yeah.
So I was there when like your career first took off in teaching.
No question.
And man, that went fast because you were studying law at the same time. I remember this stuff.
Yeah.
Then it was politics, then it was mayor. Boom.
Right. Yeah, I was tired too. Yeah, I remember I came home from college in '93.
Okay.
And I got a job at Marcus Garvey Academy in the Detroit public school system. I was teaching social studies, and then after a month, the principal asked me to teach math too. So I had social studies and math. Yeah. And so I came over there, and it was this little kid, man, oh man, Tom Mayer. He was something else then.
Yeah.
But what you have become, man, you talked about my movement and my growth and my different transitions in life. Man, you are blowing my mind every time I engage you.
Man, I appreciate that. And I'm gonna be honest, man, a lot of that stuff, it came from those experiences in Marcus Garvey.
Wow.
And it was Mr. Franklin and you.
Wow. Yes. Big shout out to Eugene Franklin since you brought him out. We got to do that.
We got to do that. We got to show the love, man.
No question.
It was so you didn't just teach us academic. So first of all, like you like the biggest guy I know that you still down to earth. Like even in stature, like the way that you connect. Yeah. Like when you walk in the room, it's like, oh, okay. The whole atmosphere changes, and it's always been that way.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So thanks for being that way and never changing.
No doubt. I'm from here. I am us. Marcus Garvey had a quote that says, I am because we are. There's no way that I could exist outside of who we are. This community that we are in now, it provoked me to be great. When I saw Coleman Young at 10 years old, I said, I want to be that, a sharp black man who was leading a city and was absolutely unafraid in his job. And I just said, man, that is awesome. But I also saw doctors and lawyers and pastors and street dudes. Yeah. Everybody had a swagger around here that said, we are all a part of something great. And that's why I love this city. I have not seen that kind of energy amongst black men in particular, but also black people. anywhere else but Detroit. And people always holler Atlanta, but it's a different energy in Atlanta.
It's a little different. It is a different energy. Like when you go there, you feel like, man, this might be the closest, but not quite.
It's not quite. And you know, I love Atlanta does what it does.
Yes.
You know, and they have, you know, Atlanta always makes uniquely Atlanta stuff. I like how they promote and you know, their town.
They got their energy.
They got their energy, but it's different in Baltimore and different from Detroit and different from other places. And this difference here is the one I grew up in, and I love it.
Yeah, it is. And in your way, you personified it for us, especially our generation, man.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So let's get back to this thing, because now look, this was a big brother, feel me, as a teacher. You know what I mean? Like Mr. Franklin was like, you know, he was a little older, but Kwame was like, we can't really mess up because we got to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? And so we learned how to be young men, like for real. So I'm going somewhere with this.
Oh man.
All right. So I ain't gonna talk about the ring this time. I'm talking about something different. So you would drop these jewels, right? And I don't know if you remember this one, but in 6th grade, being taught not to pee in the shower by you was huge. It was like those the type of things he would tell us, like, hey, look, guys. And it was like, because it was always all boys, you know what I mean? And you would just lay the stuff out. You was there. We went to summer camp together. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, summer camp was off the hook.
Until the tornadoes came through.
The tornadoes blew the thing, tents and everything. But we still strong.
We stood strong.
We stood strong. And you remember when the guy pushed little Ralph?
Yep. Oh gosh. Man, it was a lot of memories before even the mayor thing. But my favorite part about you is the codes, man, the jewels, the nuggets, the accountability. Yesterday, we spent time at our Corktown location with some brothers. Yeah. And you start diving into it again, literally. I saw the men standing, and they were like soldiers at attention. You know what I mean? Like the way that you command that still today. And you talked about accountability, men having accountability, men having men around you that'll tell you when you're wrong. Go home. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, one of the things, and we don't have to over spiritualize some things. Yep. You know, we are here and we're responsible. We're stewards over what the things that God gives us, and children and a wife and a home. And we need men around us that sharpen us. And most of us become creatures of the people that we hang around. Yep. You start doing what they're doing. Somebody said yesterday that if you hang around the barbershop long enough, you'll get a haircut.
Finally,
you're gonna sit down in that chair, and it's the same thing. And what I was talking about yesterday is we have to check who we're around. Yeah. When I was out there committing adultery, hanging out, nobody that I was with was a straight guy talking about, hey man, you know, don't do that. Go home. Be with your kids, man. You're wrong. Right. And so my circle was me. And so what we were talking about yesterday is that men, it's time for us in this life to really start taking accountability. And if we don't have it ourselves and we need some strength in that area, we need to have a circle of people around us to say, man, go home. Absolutely. Go and take care of your business. You know you have this coming up. You don't need to be out here drinking and hanging. Yep. Go home, man, and get yourself prepared for what you're about to do. What we see now with LeBron and Chris Paul and all these guys, they're starting to get the message that this family life is important to billions. Yep. And it's important to success. And so we got to see it on a large level, but we don't see it in the interacting in our daily lives.
Dig into that more, because that one little string,
that's it,
can unravel everything.
You know, we talked about it yesterday, and it was a fella's conversation, and I could be a little bit more blunt, you know. But there are many men right now that are messing up destiny, chasing something they ain't got no business chasing. They're messing up opportunity, spending too much time on things that they have nothing to do with where they're going. You got some of the greatest and most talented individuals in neighborhoods all over this city and around this country right now that look just like us. Yep. But they are chasing the wrong things. They're putting too much of their time, attention, and focus into the wrong things. Yep. It's not that they don't have opportunity. They have opportunity. They don't have focus. And we need to have people to say, man, be accountable. Yep. Spend some time on this. Do this. And when I was in the prison, you know, being completely transparent, that was my job. My job was to go to the guys that was GDs and Vice Lords and Bloods and Crips and say, man, listen, man, I hear you on this. I see you committed. Okay. But you're too talented to just do this. Yeah. You could be doing this, and this. But what I saw, when you show focused people and committed people another way, they dive into it full stop. Yep. And you see that from where you from. Some people just focus and some people not.
Yep.
But when you find somebody that's focused, that want to go to the next level, and you teach them a new way,
yeah,
man, he gone.
Focus is transfer. It's a transferable trait.
Absolutely.
It work across the board, even in your family life.
No question.
So for me, so my framework in my life is I do the 4 F's: faith, family, fitness, finance.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told Antoine, if you do those good enough, then you get the secret F. You get to have fun.
That's good.
You know what I mean? We don't put it the opposite way. So building framework.
And let me give you one of that.
Okay.
Fun then becomes interwoven in all of them. You have fun when you faithful.
Yep.
You have fun with your family.
Yep. Finance.
You have fun and finances.
Fitness.
That's exactly right. You start to actually like the stuff that you
that becomes your fun.
That becomes your fun.
That and that is like how you build success, just locking in. But so my question for you, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday as well. Why do you think it's so hard for the African American community to just come together and build strong frameworks, build strong family and finance, and take fitness serious? Like,
generationally, we were put through for hundreds of years a system and process where only a few were chosen.
Okay.
And most people just wanted to be the black that was chosen.
Right.
And even though that system is not in place in law, it's still in place in a lot of people's souls. So we kill each other to be the black that's selected. And we've been doing it since 1600s. And so the problem we have is that if I align myself with Tom Mayer, if I get with T and he's doing music or production, or he's doing this and I'm doing it too, he's going to take something from me.
Competitor.
He's a competitor. I see him as a competitor. But if iHeartRadio reach out to him, he ready to go to the meeting because he doesn't see them as a competitor. He automatically sees them as someone that can help him grow. But we don't see each other like that because deep within the recesses of the Negro mind is a plantation system.
Come on with it.
And so we can't really break ourselves free of that to just say, that's not my competition, man. Me and him, instead of going after this $5 million pot together, we can go after this $10 million pot. And we could split it up a little differently. And we could leverage the $10 million to go after this $100 million. And this not nobody, because you got a lot of people seeing this. I just met, John Rogers and Jim Reynolds, guys that people don't know their names. They in Chicago, they finance guys. They billionaires now because 5 finance guys came together and said, let's stop going after $50 million deals and go after $1 billion deals. And they did it. And when Obama came in, they went and got a $660 billion deal. They ain't never got to work again. But these are people you never heard of that's getting in the room. All of them were successful. All of them were millionaires. But when they got together, they now worth $800 million.
It's a different ball game.
It's a whole different ball game.
And other coaches do it all the time.
They do it all the time. And we talked about that yesterday. I've been, in some rooms where these two people from other nationalities, other ethnicity, they can't stand each other, talk about each other. To me, I can't stand him. He's this, he's that. But when they sit down at that table, they get the deal done. They shake hands, they talk stuff, and then they walk out and say, I can't stand that guy.
But the business is done.
The business is done. It's not about emotion. And sometimes in our community, emotion is the number one thing. How we feel about something. I don't like him. I don't like her. I don't like this. And so we move. That's how we do politics, and that's how we do business.
Yeah, we're led by emotion. All the time, man.
So we easy to move.
That's deep. That's deep. So, all right. Before we get out of here, we got to get into the most important thing today: Movemental Ministry.
Amen.
Come on, you gotta bless us. What's the vision? What made you to come up with it? What is it? How do we get involved? The whole nine. Come on with it.
All right. Movemental. That word was a word that I saw in a book that I was reading in a solitary confinement cell. So I like to say it was born out of the darkness of a womb of creativity, of revelation and deliverance. And so I'm not there anymore. So obviously I was supposed to be taking something out of there and bring it out here. And so Movemental was in this book that basically talked about Jesus Christ being a man on a mission. He wasn't a dude that was coming to start a church. I heard a guy say that. He a dude that came to start the church. No, he came to bring a movement to earth from his destination that used to be heaven. And that movement was a kingdom concept. So everybody in it was to be royalty.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't ever for us to go and sit in a building.
Right.
It was for us to have a missional movement that was founded in him. And so they put that word together, movemental. It's a movement, but it's also missional. And it also targets the mind.
Yeah.
And so
it's internal.
The battlefield that we have to get through is the one that's in the mind.
Yep.
Most people won't engage whatever because it's something that they fed their own minds, sometimes way back in 6th, 7th grade. And they're living out of a mind that's been poisoned and contaminated by a lie. And so what Movemental strives to do in its discipleship, in its efforts, in its delivery of the gospel of Jesus Christ is try to free people in their own minds. Bob Marley says, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. And he said we have to engage I and I, who he calls that he calls God. So that engagement, that movement, that intelligence, that supernatural intelligence is what we're trying to deliver to people to help them know who they really are. And that is something different than going to church. Yes, we will worship. Yes, we will praise. Yes, we will pray. But we will also get people the tools that they need to become all that God destined for them to be.
How do we get to it? How do we get involved? Where is it? Where is it? Can I get it on my phone? Is it on YouTube?
Man, I heard you. Hey, Malik, I hope you're listening. Yeah, I just got a question. Is it on my phone?
Yeah.
And we supposed to have an app for the phone. We'll have that app. I heard yesterday we had that app by the end of June.
Okay.
So people will get it on their phone, but they can visit our website now, movementalministries.org. Please get your information there. You can reach out to us, contact at Movemental Ministries, and we could talk to you about how to get involved with us. Right now, we live in the virtual space, but God is moving us to get a building. We know.
Okay, so that's in the plan.
Oh, absolutely. We they're
going to want to pull up and come see you.
We need a headquarters. we need a headquarters, you know, and it's not. We don't want it to just be a church, but a center, a place where people can come and get what they need to be better, to be healed, to be delivered, to be new.
Yeah.
You know, to be transformed. And so we got to have a building.
Absolutely.
So we coming, and you'll see us over the next few months get that going.
I'm happy, man. Well, one more thing before you get out of here, man. So this also serves as a segment on the God Made Dirt podcast.
All right.
And with that, what we do on that podcast is we also try to help people when they walk with Christ.
That's good.
Sometimes our dirt or our mistakes or our missteps, they kind of keep us away from him. You know, we shame to walk with him when he know everything about us. He formed us in our mother's womb.
Yeah.
Right. And so our mistakes, he uses our masterpiece in the end.
Yeah.
You know, your assignment, like you no matter what, man, you just keep being on time for your assignment.
That's it.
The speed that you move at every time, it's got to be God, the way you move. No
question. And let me say this to that, because I know everybody's listening has heard about Kwame Kilpatrick's failures. They've heard about his fall. But in that, there's something about understanding that everybody's life is a sermon. You know, the preacher always starts a sermon with something whoa. You know, a great preacher. I mean, if you listening to T.D. Jakes or something, he starts you about, oh, you going down, down, down. And the end of the sermon is always something coming up, up, up.
Yep.
And the reason why is those biblical figures, whether you're talking about David or Jacob or Joseph, they had to go down.
Yep.
And what I want people to understand is all of the stuff that I allowed myself with my crazy mind to get involved in, everything that the dirt did to get on me, I'm using right now to dig my way back up.
All things.
And
all
you
things
know
come together.
what I found out?
What's that?
Is that I have more understanding, more compassion, more empathy, more wisdom when I'm talking to somebody that I wouldn't have had before. I've had cellies that have been lifers. My first cellie was 25 with a double life sentence. So I would have never met that guy.
Yeah.
but for what I went through and never been able to talk to him about the things that we he started off asking me had I ever been to the BET Awards. By the time I left that prison, he was getting his, he had gotten his GED and he was starting a 2-year college, and he was talking about, hey, man, hey, how you get funding if you want to start up, you talking about the auto mechanics, but I get my certificate next week. He was on something totally different, but that engagement helped him and it helped me.
Yep.
And that's the thing about when you go through dirt.
Yep.
Because that soil produces good fruit.
Mm-hmm.
If people would allow that dirt to let it work in their souls and their spirits.
Man, listen, man, y'all heard it here first, man. Hey, look, we love you.
Man, love you, bro.
I'm glad that you took out time to talk to us. We want to get involved any way we can here at MBassador Studios, man. We're going to be part of your army, man.
That's good.
We hanging in the wings, man. We want to
good.
know what we got to do to lock in.
That's good.
Because we locking in.
Tony Brown, who was a famous speaker, he said that money is not the most important thing, but it's right up there with oxygen. But I have a different feeling.
Yeah.
I really believe boots on the ground are more important.
Yeah.
I think when you have an army, you have all the resources you need to produce whatever you need.
Absolutely.
And that army does not have to be monolithic. It doesn't have to be one way. You can have an army that deals with finance. You can have an army that deals with media. You can have an army when you want to come and do podcasts. You can get out a message. You can have an army when you need to go get some funding for it. And so that army can be in places that people don't even know they're there.
Yep.
And so I think that's more valuable. Resources are more valuable than just money and more broad than just money. And so I appreciate the army.
What's the key to building the army?
The key to building is first know what you need.
Okay.
You can't just have an army.
Right.
You got to have a targeted focus that the army builds around.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm learning now.
Okay.
Because when it was Kwame Kilpatrick for mayor, it was easy.
Yeah.
It was so easy to build an army. I mean, I know what we're trying to do. I know what we're trying to get done. You get here, this is what you need. You got to go here. When you're building an army and you got to focus on getting people delivered, making people better fathers, better husbands, helping people in entrepreneur life get into business and funding. It's such a broad, different thing. So you need a different type of army and a different type of focus. But that's what you do. You go to, you go to Tamel, you go to Willie. You say, hey man, what are y'all trying to do? Right. And let's build an army around this. There's no reason why you're not engaged, why you can't walk right up on the 11th floor and say, we're doing a bunch of stuff over here in Corktown and we're here. And you should be able to access city government, access state government and grants. You should be able to go to a bank and get some money. You should be able to have a meeting with the president. Well, I'm a person that knows people like that. Yep. So how do we then develop around that? Then now y'all go out and say, man, listen, we need an army over here because that army is in place. Yep. And so you build it around the idea. Yeah. The whole thing with Jesus Christ in the Bible, it says, let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus. Well, what is his mind like? He had a mind to spread the kingdom of heaven and earth, to enlarge the territory of heaven, bring heaven to earth. This is the same mind you have. You ain't trying to stay in Southfield.
I'm already not. I mean, I was with you at Corktown.
That's
yesterday.
right. You Corktown. You going down south. You going out
everywhere.
You trying to spread your business knowledge and opportunities all over. Absolutely. And that's a kingdom mindset. And that's how you build an army, by helping people understand how to do that.
Man, thank you, man. And we're gonna catch up with you soon, man. This is Kwame Kill. I call him Kill. Pastor Kwame, the mayor to some folks, man. And he locked in with us on the code, man. We love y'all. Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.